I have thought about getting and reviewing the shoe for a long time. So much so, last year I made a video about all the shoes that I wish I had a chance to review, but never got my hands on, and this is one of them. And after pondering for over a year, I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it. And here it is, Nike Air Force 1 Year of the Dragon 2024. Now this shoe dropped on February 14th, 2024 for around $365 US as a China exclusive. And they did drop it on Valentine's Day. Remember that. That is going to be referenced later on the shoe, part of the whole storytelling of the shoe actually. And of course 2024 was the Year of the Dragon. And this was part of Nike's Lunar New Year pack from last year. A very, very exclusive and hard to get limited release. And first impressions of this shoe. It's beautiful. Usually I don't love a lot of gold in my sneakers, but there's always like a subjective nature about certain shoes where you can't describe why, even though it's breaking some of your like sneaker rules or sneaker norms, you still really like the colorway. And this is one of them. There's a lot of gold. It's very bright, very bold, something that I'm not very used to on my sneakers, or I don't love to wear too much. I'm more subdued and kind of under the radar type of guy, but something about this is just it is Michelin star delicious. I love all the patterns, all the details on the shoe, which I'll get to in more detail later. But yeah, when I unbox this, you feel like the kind of luxury and elegant nature of the shoe that they're really trying to go for. It just feels different. It feels special. And the upper of the shoe, of course, very, very special. It is completely silk. Now, it's not the first time that we've seen silk on an Air Force 1. Clot did that a bunch of times. Some very nice Air Force 1s came out of that collaboration, but we've never seen it in this kind of setup. You see a bunch of Chinese motifs. So on the right shoe, on the lateral side, you get this phoenix, and on the left shoe, on the same side, you get a dragon. Now, if you're wondering why it's a dragon and phoenix when it's just Year of the Dragon, that's because the dragon and phoenix in Chinese culture, they kind of join at the hip. So dragon symbolizes a male, phoenix symbolizes the female. A lot of times if a couple has like a boy and a girl, a son and a daughter, they'll be like, oh, you have really good luck. You have a dragon and a phoenix, one of each. It is also very commonly used when you have like weddings. And remember, this did release on Valentine's Day in 2024. But then apart from that, on the medial side of the shoe, you have more patterns in the same type of purple, gold, and blue color, with flowers all over. And you also see like a fish, and in Chinese culture, fish is often used to symbolize like abundance, and not like a dirty kind of overconsumption, excess type of abundance, but like abundance in a good way. Like you have leftover money, essentially savings. And then you get the more subtle motifs. So like kind of in the background, you get like Nike swooshes, flowers, rooster, I believe that is, more fish, just a bunch of different motifs and patterns. And then you see the 4 claws on the dragon. A fun fact, Chinese dragons have 4 claws, Japanese ones have 3. That's how you can distinguish them. Now, in terms of the quality of the silk, I am not like a silk expert, so I can't say if it's super, super premium silk. I will say in hand, it feels just luxurious. It feels elegant. It feels much better than, honestly, a lot of Air Force 1 materials. Like the leather on those can be just horrible. You definitely feel like you're touching and wearing a special shoe when you feel the materials on this. On the toe box itself, you get a little love heart on each shoe. Again, remember, Valentine's Day release date. And on the lace debris of the shoe, this is a Chinese character that means joy or happiness. Now, when you put it together, that means double joy, double happiness, often used in weddings and romantic celebrations in Chinese culture. You see that same character moving up the tongue, at the top of the tongue, and right behind the tongue, actually, in gold, you see the usual Nike Air tag. I love that. It's kind of there, it's kind of not. It's kind of got this bamboo type of design that, again, you see a ton in Chinese architecture. I love how their tongue looks. Now, this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just this creamy off-white laces out of the box. That's one thing that I was kind of disappointed in. For a special release, I really do expect like at least 1 extra set of laces just to give us more choice. But what I really liked are the gold tips that you see on the lace tips. Now, usually when they come in this kind of chrome or like silver metal lace tip aesthetic, can feel kind of cheap and plastic. But this, this actually has some weight to it, so it doesn't actually feel really dirt cheap. Now moving on to the booty of the shoe, Nike Air on the heel tab, that is embroidered. Love it. That better have been embroidered. If that was like printed on the heel tab, I would have been really disappointed, but it feels very delicate, very elegant, kind of upscale. And then on the heel counter itself, again, you see that one character. That by itself means joy. Together, double joy, double happiness. Remember, use that a lot in Chinese weddings. That is just the perfect use of that character on the booty tab. When you put it together, yeah, very, very nice storytelling there. I love that detail. Now moving on to cushioning, the Air Force One does just come with a rubber cup sole with a Nike Air unit. Good thing about the rubber cup sole, very durable, can last for a long time. The bad thing is that it is very chunky. It does not have much weight savings. It can feel kind of like a brick, very boxy. The Nike Air, you just barely feel it. It's not the best cushioning. It is a very old shoe. It's an outdated shoe. I will have more to say on sizing and comfort later, but don't expect the best like under your feet. And you can see the silk actually extends down to the cup sole. So you don't actually see the rubber itself. I like that. I like how they just went all out. Only the outsole has been spared. Now in terms of the outsole, just a very beautiful type of creamy color, blends right into the rest of the colors on the upper. And this outsole concentric circle pattern, that is actually pretty historic on the Air Force One. The Air Force One actually began this type of pattern. Remember, this was originally a basketball shoe, so that pattern is meant for basketball players to be able to pivot more easily. That made its way onto like the Jordan 1s, of course, Jordan 2s, Jordan 3s. Yeah, definitely one of a kind. Now, the insole of the shoe, red, perfect color choice, very prominent during Chinese New Year. The double happiness character is here. That is actually stitched onto the heel of the shoe. I love that. The quality of this, though, I do not love. For a special release, you give us this quality insole, it is offensive. Give us at least some polyurethane insoles for a shoe that's already not the most comfortable in 2025. How dare you? Box of the shoe, a very festive red box with that joy character on top. Comes with a double joy, double happiness sticker. And the paper inside, very festive as well. Red and white paper. And the bottom of this, these are some Chinese nuts and fruits that's also consumed during like Chinese New Year, like special occasions as well. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For Air Force Ones, I generally go true to size. If you don't have wide feet, you could actually go down half size. And especially for this shoe, where you see this ankle collar lining here, that is actually leather. So it's not the usual Air Force One material. And it does feel slightly kind of thinner than usual Air Force One padding right around this area. So if you don't have super wide feet, you could go down half size. For me, just for the sake of my toe box in this 4-foot area, I'm still going true to size. Now overall comfort, a shoe that came out in 1982, very antiquated, especially compared to 2025 shoes. Cushioning under your feet is just, it's quite horrendous. It is one of the more uncomfortable shoes in my rotation. Air Force Ones in general, very boxy, feels kind of brickish, kind of like chunky, almost like you're wearing heavy takeaway boxes on your feet. Yeah, the cushioning is just not the greatest. You definitely feel the age, but I do have a strong suspicion if you are getting this shoe or even thinking about it, comfort is probably at the lowest kind of priority. It is just not even a thought. You get this shoe not because how it might make you feel on feet. Get this shoe because of how to make you look while you're wearing it. Now the materials of these I feel like does require a little bit of break-in time, but it's not like super like stiff thick leather, or it might require just a bit more patience, or like foam posits that can require a little bit of patience as well to break in. But overall, even once broken in, just under your feet, it is not the greatest. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Force One Year of the Dragon 2024 to 36 out of 50. A pretty good score compared to other special releases. First to this colorway, I'm not gonna give it 10 out of 10. I'm reserving that score for like the absolute legendary colorways like the black and red, the Chicago. This though, it is not usually a colorway that I'm super drawn to, but I think the way they executed it, the choice of materials, the storytelling all across just makes it a very nice colorway for me. Despite it being very gold and yellow, yeah, overall, I really like the colorway of the shoe. Now, in terms of the materials, I am not like a connoisseur of silk. I don't know what's like elite silk versus very average silk, but I can tell you how it feels on my hand. Feels great. It feels like a special shoe, especially for a Nike shoe. Patterns and stitching, it feels intricate. Yeah, I love it. For $365, it better come with some nice silk. And in terms of the comfort of the shoe, like I said before, Very, very old. The Air Force Ones came out almost... Ooh, actually, damn. It came out 43 years ago. Don't expect the best comfort. It doesn't really like hurt your feet, but just feels heavy and chunky and boxy. It's not great. And in terms of the versatility, I will always say the Air Force Ones are timeless. I don't care about the fact that they're not very popular or hyped right now, but the silhouette itself, the shape, you can always pull off a very nice outfit, very nice look with an Air Force One. Wearability of the colorway though, objectively, it is not super wearable. It is so loud, the stitching is very prominent, and it's eye-catching. I don't feel like you're gonna get this shoe and expect it to wear it for a ton of different occasions, only the most special occasions. Yeah, in a vacuum, super wearable shape in the Air Force One. Wearability of the colorway is, compared to like all white Air Force One, probably like the staple of wearability. Yeah, not super versatile. And in terms of the storytelling, I think they did a great job. I think the details are really nice. The red insoles, perfect color choice, the whole double happiness characters playing into the release date of the shoe on Valentine's Day. I love it. The color of the box, love it as well. I like the sticker that they give you. One thing, just a tiny little nitpick, is kind of expected a few more different things, like maybe a little booklet, a 2-pager on what the dragon means in the Chinese zodiac. Just something. Will I ever read it? Probably not, but I do expect it for like these special releases. So 9 out of 10, not perfect. Overall, still very outstanding. I am terrified of wearing the shoe and like handling the shoe overall. It is so delicate. I feel like I'm gonna damage it. And if I wear it and someone steps on my feet, we're gonna have many problems. Many problems. That aside though, I feel very lucky to be able to get this shoe in hand because it just feels different. It feels unique. What I'm pretty annoyed and kind of bummed about is for these Lunar New Year packs, Chinese New Year packs, when they come up with special releases for different occasions, I really wish they would save the best designs for like a more general release and not save the best for like the super exclusive limited release. Like this year, Year of the Snake, easily the best design was the Air Jordan 1 High Year of the Snake, and they limited that to less than 3,400 pairs. And it's a shame because I wish just they would let more people be able to experience such a cool design. So next year, for Lunar New Year, fingers crossed, they put their most outstanding design on the most easy to get shoe. Probably a pipe dream, but one can hope. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Force One Year of the Dragon 2024. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come to wear your shoes.